Now, being a lesbian is, much like being trans, at the core of my identity. It is a big part of who I am and how I identify, and intertwines so much with my beliefs, morals, and like how I live my life. And being a lesbian has so many positives for me and is so amazing for me in so many ways, and so many other trans women, it's also amazing, and even other trans masculine and trans men people. It's amazing. Lesbian love is supposed to be very, very inclusive, and pretty much the only rule about lesbian love is that it does not include cis men. So, a common misconception about lesbians is that it's just woman on woman. But you can also be non-binary and be a lesbian, and like I said, you can also be transmasculine and be a lesbian. Lesbian relationships are just so special. So good. I swear to God, there's nothing like it.
Who the f*** do you think you are, you crazy little shit?
How crazy is it that we are living in a time when someone like the fellow we just heard from in the first clip can put on some lipstick, a little rouge, and a woman's blouse and tell people what a lesbian is supposed to be? Anyway, welcome back. Thank you guys so much for joining me. So I have a fairly quick and slightly crazy weekend Clown World update for you guys today, and as usual, we just don't have any time to waste, so let's get into it. Now, if you place your attention on the screen for a moment, and no, this is not Danny DeVito's character Penguin from the Batman movie. This is Rachel. Now, Rachel is a biological man that identifies as a trans woman and calls himself a transman. Now, like the fella from the first clip, Rachel will only date cis lesbians and only use ladies' restrooms. Huh?
You one ugly motherfucker.
All right, let's keep it moving with today's segment of people who suffer from TDS, also known as Trump derangement syndrome. Now, this young lad not only suffers from TDS, but he is also very, very pro Biden, which is so bizarre because we can all see exactly what's going on with Sleepy Joe at this point.
After I signed the PAC Act into law, I handed the pen that I signed it with as addition to the person most responsible for the legislation.
Wow. Anyway, this young lad says that Republicans are terrified for Trump to debate that f***ing mess. Really? Roll it.
Republicans are terrified of Donald Trump debating Joe Biden, so much so that they're now spreading bizarre conspiracies that this whole debate is a giant setup to get Donald Trump. This is what Vivek Ramaswamy, the failed GOP candidate, had to say about Joe Biden challenging Donald Trump to a debate. And it reads, quote, "Call me cynical, but why is Biden suddenly so willing to debate? It could be because he's desperate, or it could be because it's a setup. Keep an eye on the details of how all this comes together. You don't often see a sudden 180 like this unless there's more to the story." Ooh, very ominous. First of all, Joe Biden is not scared to debate Donald Trump. He debated him in 2020 and then beat him in the election. Secondly, Donald Trump is the one who is afraid of debating. He's backed out of every single GOP primary debate thus far. So again, if Republicans were confident in Donald Trump's debating skills, they would be cheering on this debate. But the fact that they're already accusing it of being a setup shows me that they are terrified.
No offense, but you are a stupid asshole.
All right, next up we have this fella who is a biological man that identifies as a trans woman and was apparently misgendered by an employee at Popeye's Chicken and decided to film himself having this minor meltdown about the situation. Roll it.
Popeye's Chicken needs to know that is not okay for their employees to be like calling trans women sir.
Excuse me, it's ma'am. It is ma'am.
To like intentionally like f***ing with me after I did something he doesn't like. I heard the motherfucker call me sir. Okay? And you can lie to save his ass because they're always so spineless and easy. But the world will let you know at least this. Yeah, if you do this, if you go and you f***ing accost trans people in public, we can hold you accountable. We can just make a f***ing batshit scene and some of us f***ing will.
You f***ing crazy, man. You sound insane. Do you realize that? You should be medicated.
All right, next up we have yet another perfect example of what this whole gender ideology does to a young, impressionable mind. Roll it.
Really believe in gender. Like, I think the idea of a man is it's a social construct. So I don't think we need the social construct of manhood at all. People use it to categorize society, and like we like to put things in boxes because it's easy for us to understand the world if we can put it in categories, but I don't think we need that. And I actually think that if we get rid of that, we can understand each other as human beings a little bit more. I'm non-binary, and I have gone about the world being like, it's 1 and 2, and it's this category or the other one, and neither of them have ever really felt good to me. And I have actually had a hard time, like, I've seen interviews like this that's like, what is a woman? And nobody can come up with an idea. I don't have a definition either, so I just don't think it's something that we need. I've never had a comfortable experience in either one, and I've never been able to really relate to one side of it or the other, so I've never needed it.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought.
All right, next up we have this very bizarre news clip. Now, I'm not quite for sure exactly which news station this is, but for some reason, this newscaster felt it was important to tell all of his viewers that he likes to and get
right in the butt.
What? Why though? Bro.
Some members of my family, this isn't some huge surprise. I've been living in a glass closet for the most part. But now I wanted to let you out there, the viewers out there that wake up with me every morning, to know a little bit more about me. And coming out to new people is never easy for me. I am so nervous right now, I'm not gonna lie. This is no doubt the most people I've ever come out to at once. Ha!
Gay! So why does that newscaster think he is that important that he needs to tell all the people that tune into him to watch the news about his sex life? Anyway, next up. So we always hear these people say that gender is a social construct. Well, here's a new one. Gender is a racial construct. Roll it.
That did not adhere to a gender binary prior to being colonized. My own is one of them. We did not have a gender binary prior to being colonized, and before Christianity and Mormonism and Catholicism were brought to my people. So before that, prior to that, we didn't adhere to anything like that.
And gender is a racial construct.
Period.
So what it means to be an Indian woman, a Samoan woman, a white woman is different and culturally contingent.
Absolutely.
I grew up with strong, badass, hairy brown women. And that wasn't a violation of their femininity.
Absolutely.
But oftentimes, I think when we're saying look like a woman or act like a woman, what we're saying is look or act like a white woman.
Period.
And we're policing women of color into that.
Absolutely.
And that's why, for me, like this idea of transness, we're building off of this legacy of actually saying there is no one way to be a woman.
Absolutely.
Actually, there's your way to be a woman. And I think people read that as erasure, but actually that's about entitlement. If you feel like you can universalize your particular point of view, that's a problem.
Yeah.
When I'm saying that I want a world beyond the gender binary, I'm not saying you don't get to be you.
Yeah.
Actually, you being you is totally fine. There's nothing
and
to do
it
with
has
me.
been for thousands of years.
Yes.
Yeah.
I get to be me.
Yeah.
And in fact, the more you are, the more I can be.
Yeah.
This zero-sum competitive mentality, we don't need that, babe.
Absolutely.
What did you say? What the did you just say?
And gender is a racial construct.
Oh, don't give me that liberal bullshit.
Hey, real quick, sorry. Before we go any further, I want to give a huge shout out to the sponsor of today's video. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to let this loop on the screen. Now, we recently saw this bearded belly dancing lady in a previous video. However, she has since made some changes. Now, I'm not sure how well you guys can see it, but she has recently dyed her beard, mustache, and armpit hair blue. Anyway, today's video is being brought to us by J&S Trading. J&S Trading, thank you guys so much for sponsoring today's video. I really, really appreciate the support. So once again, today's video sponsor is J&S Trading. Now, if you'd like to sponsor the next video and help support the channel, there is a PayPal link in the description box below, and I will say your full name as a sponsor of said video unless stated otherwise by you. All right, I think we've all seen enough belly dancing for one day. Get this off the screen, please. Oof. All right, next up we have some new pronouns from the lesbian Snow White, aka the pronoun gal. It says that thing's pronouns. Oh, this should be good. Roll it.
That thinks. Well, it's two words in one pronoun, which honestly I've never done before, so I think this is kind of exciting. Just remember, this is what that person feels the most comfortable with while being referred to as. And a lot of people that use that's pronouns or things pronouns don't see it as dehumanizing. And that's what I've learned from other neo-pronoun users that have come and talked to me about why they want to use it. If you ever want to reach out and talk to me about your neo-pronoun and why it feels comfortable to you, I would love that. And in some ways, it can help other people that might want to try using those neo-pronouns. It's just nice to know that you can have relatable experiences with other people in this world and a sense of community. It's just so important. So let's try to use these in sentences. How will they sound? I don't know, but let's give them a whirl. That thing is very vocal about not liking a two-party system. Voting in local elections is crucial to not only that thing, but so many more. Although it might take a while to create the change that thing craves, it is still important to keep that thing self informed and dedicated to politics. And please remember that I'm not a teacher. I am just a friend here to help validate you through your pronoun journey or whatever journey you're going through.
Ha! That's it! Hold it right there! Pronoun trouble.
Hey guys, before we wrap up today's video, I just have a quick question. So I saw this photo and it got me thinking, is there a specific name for this type of body style or body shape? It looks like a circle. I don't think I've ever seen a human being that looks like a complete circle. You know, they have the different body styles, body shapes, like one of them's the egg on stilts, one of them's like a pear. There are people that look like a brick. So I don't know, is this a circle? Is there a name for it? I don't know.
That's a huge bitch.
All right, guys, we're going to jump back over to the political realm. We have a couple of clips left. This first one from MSNBC is an interview with former FBI Director James Comey. These people are panicking. Roll it.
Are you concerned that it may get a test unlike any other if Donald Trump is reelected? I mean, when you think about a second Trump administration, what do you think the implications would be for the FBI?
Oh, serious for the Justice Department and the FBI, because Trump is coming for those institutions. He knows their power, and I think he has regrets that he didn't work hard enough to corrupt them last time. So he's coming for them, and that's a danger for all Americans. He's going to put people in positions in those organizations. He didn't have all stars the last time. He'll have the bottom of the barrel this time, but people who will want to do his will, and that should worry every American. This election matters. Because of a reason like that, people have to participate. You cannot sit on the sideline. I don't care how you feel about Joe Biden, you must vote for him because the consequences on the other side are too severe.
What the hell did you just say?
I don't care how you feel about Joe Biden, you must vote for him.
I have only one thing to say. Go f yourself.
So a good rule of thumb to try to get through life is to do the exact opposite of what people like Comey tell you to do. Anyway, we're going to be wrapping it up with this clip of New York Governor Kathy Hochul being interviewed by CNN's Jake Tapper. Oh, what an insufferable woman. And listen, don't get it twisted. She hates Trump supporters just as much as she hates Trump. Anyway, things are clearly getting very crazy out there, guys. So please take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Till next time. Love you guys. Peace.
Well, I'll tell you, it won't make a difference at all, Jake, and that is for Donald Trump to be the ringleader of and invite all his clowns to a place like the Bronx. New York will never, ever support Donald Trump for president. We know him better than anyone, and that means we understand what he's all about is just for himself. So this state will go solidly behind Joe Biden for president as it has in the past. So he wants to spend his time doing these made-up fake rallies and pretending their support here. Be my guest, because while you're doing that, Donald Trump, Joe Biden's out there on the other side making sure he's delivering for all Americans. And so go ahead, spend all your time you want in New York, because we'll be with Joe Biden, and Joe Biden's out there winning over the rest of the battleground states.
What did you say?
And that is for Donald Trump to be the ringleader of and invite all his clowns to a place like the Bronx.
Because she's an idiot or she's insane.
And you ain't black.